Okay, so let's be honest as we go through. I made some typos and some errors, so bear with me while we try to correct some of those things. Okay, so I want you to take a moment and read number 1. Okay, so take a moment and read number 1. So hopefully you read number 1. So let's figure out defining variables works the same way. It's based off of the question. The question was, how much money did she get babysitting? So that's going to be the answer to our question. So X is equal to money babysitting. Okay. When we are writing our inequality, we always start with how much we started with. So she had $5.50. So we started with $5.50. She received money. What do you think that means? Received money. So that means someone gave her money. So we're adding money to what she has. And she received that money for babysitting. So that's why it's our X value. So I'm actually going to write that in red. Okay. Now she has over $27. So over, think back to what inequality symbol that is. That's the greater than inequality symbol. So she is over $27. Okay. So now we, draw the river. Solve for X. So we subtract both sides by 550. Okay, so figure out what X is greater than. It's greater than 2150. So what does that mean? So X is greater than 2150. So what does that mean? She received, hate this word, I always spell it wrong. She received over 2150 babysitting. So she received over 2150 babysitting. And that's that problem. All right, on to the next one. So Yvonne is baking cookies. The recipe calls for more than 2.5 cups of chocolate chips, sorry. She has already put in 1/4. How many more chips does she need to put in? Okay, so we always start with our question. How many more chips does she need to put in? So X equals number of chips needed. Okay. Write our inequality. We always write with what we started with. She has already put in 1/4 cups. Okay, so that's what we started with. We started with 1/4 cups. She has, well, the recipe calls for more than 2.5 cups. So how much does she need to put in? So we want to do 1/4 plus what she has left. Now I know that the more than inequality symbol is the greater than symbol. It's greater than 2.5 cups. Okay, so now we're going to solve this by drawing our river. This is a positive 1/4, so I subtract 1/4. And I'm left with X is greater than what? How much is X greater than? 2.25. So let's label our final answer. She needs to put in however you want to say it, I'm going to say at least 2.25 more cups. Okay. 3 and 4 is where I got confused when I was writing it. So your problem 3 should read, Isaac saved $75 toward the purchase of an iPhone. And then it says the cost of an iPod. So cost of an iPod is written there. Obviously, I meant iPhone. So cross off iPad and iPod, sorry, and write iPhone for me there. Okay. Now looking at number 4. After paying $6.25 for a small pizza, Trevor has no more than $19 left. How much did he have before buying the fries? Yours says fries. It should say pizza. I don't know what I was thinking when I was typing. I was getting my words all confused. So hopefully you made those changes to iPhone and pizza. Now I want you to take a couple minutes and try doing 3 and 4 on your own. So try 3 and 4 on your own. Okay, so here's my work for number 3. Define the variables money needed to save for Isaac. Okay. We started with that $75 plus what we needed to save. iPhones start at $299. That means we need to save more than $299, but it could be equal to $299. So that's why it's a greater than or equal to symbol. When you solve, you should get X is greater than or equal to 224. When we write this out, you're going to say Isaac needs to save. Again, you could write this anyway since you have a bunch of words for the greater than or equal to symbol, but I'm saying he needs to save at least $224. Okay. Then looking at number 4. After paying $6.25 for a small pizza, Trevor has no more than $19 left. How much money did he have before buying the pizza? So we need to figure out how much money he had at the beginning before he bought the pizza. So that's what I'm going to start with. How much money I had at the beginning. Okay, so that's why my X comes first. Then paying means that we subtract $6.25. And then he can have no more than means less than or equal to $19. So after you solve, you get X is less than or equal to 25.25. So he started with at most 25.25. Okay, so he never had more than 25.25 in his pocket. Most likely he probably had $25 in his pocket, but we don't know that. Okay, so let's go to the next ones. These ones are a little bit more tricky. So let's do number 1 together. Amber has $650 in her savings account. Okay, so that's good for her. So that's probably what we're going to start with because it says the beginning of summer. She wants to have at least $475 in the account by the end of the summer. She withdraws $25 each week. And we want to know how many weeks can Amber withdraw money from her account. All right, so let's start by defining our variables. Okay, weeks. So number of weeks is what we're trying to find. Okay. So remember, we always start with what we started with. So we start with $650 in our savings account. Then what happens next? She withdraws $25 every week. Now she has at least, which is a greater than symbol, $475. I forgot what number it was, sorry. At least $475 in her account. Okay, so that's kind of how we do it. We read it out again and again until it makes sense. Okay, so now you're going to want to solve. So pause, solve. So pause the video, solve your inequality, label your final answer. Okay, so when I solved, I subtracted 650 first. Then I had negative 25x is greater than or equal to negative 175. I divided both sides by negative 25. Negative 25. So that tells me I need to flip my inequality symbol. So I get x is less than or equal to 7. So Amber can withdraw money for at most 7 weeks or something along those lines. At most 7 weeks, whatever. All right. Try number 2 on your own. Pause, do all the steps, go for it. Okay, so I want to touch on real quick how I knew that it was the less than symbol, because she has $30 to spend. She can't spend any more than $30. So that means it has to be less than $30, but it can be equal to. She can spend up to that $30. She doesn't have to, but she can. Okay, so that's why it's less than or equal to. Okay, so hopefully you got 21 carnival rides, so she can go on at most 21 carnival rides. She can stop at 10 carnival rides if she wants, or 11, but the most she can go on is $21 before she's out of money, or, if she wants to buy cotton candy, whatever, okay? So, all that fun.